On global scenario of Indian spices. To start with, I would like to make it clear the mandate of various leading institutions when it comes to spices production and export. And later on, I would like to present the few latest trends in spices sector at the global level as well as from India. And I would like to capture the leading position of India in respect of various spices with specific reference to exports. And also, I would like to capture some of the new initiatives. So these are the 4 or 5 aspects that I will be covering in the presentation. So here I'm to start with on the mandates. So Spices Board is the leading agency which is responsible for export promotion of Indian spices. It was constituted in the year 1986, and the main mandate is to promote export of 52 scheduled spices. There are 52 spices scheduled in the Spices Board Act, and the board is responsible for export promotion of spices in every form, including curry powder, spice oils, oleoresins. That means it covers the value-added forms as well. Other mandate of the board includes production, research, domestic marketing, and export development and promotion of cardamom. In addition to that, the board is responsible for quality evaluation and regulation of spices for exports. I would like to request the participants to note the difference here. The mandate for research, production, and domestic marketing of spices other than cardamom is vested with the Union Ministry of Agriculture and the state agriculture or horticulture departments. Spices Board has wide network of offices throughout the country. We have about 86 offices, and including lot of offices in northeastern region, and we have 8 quality evaluation labs situated in major export hubs, and we have about 8 spices parks located in various production hubs as well. Next slide, please. These are the 52 spices for which the board is working on export promotion. I would like to say that not each and every spice listed here is getting exported in sizable quantities from India. If we see the export basket, the export, though we are the leaders when it comes to spices exports, the exports are contributed by the top few, say, spices alone. So that gives us lots of scope to work on various other spices. India has varieties of spices. The positive thing about India is that it has got various agroclimatic zones, more than 14, and in all these agroclimatic zones, almost in every state, 1 or 2 spices are getting produced. So we have a huge resource base, and out of the total production, the country is exporting about 13% only. So remaining 87% is coming into domestic markets. So what I'm trying to highlight here is that we have a huge resource base, and there is a huge potential to improve our exports further. Next slide, please. So these are the stakeholder touch points for the Spices Board. When it comes to, we are working on development of small and large cardamom and marketing of small and large cardamom, marketing and export promotion of 52 scheduled spices. And to regulate quality, we have quality evaluation labs at various centers. Next slide, please. This is in short. We have been talking about this, that India right now remains the #1 producer, consumer, and exporter in spices sector. Of course, we need to do hard work to retain this status in future because we are facing lots of competition from other producers as well. And one of the main reasons for this status is that we have a huge advantage when it comes to value-added products and their exports. Out of our total export basket, we have about 51% contributed by the value-added products. Our production level is nearly, say, 10 million metric tons right now, and as I've already mentioned, we are exporting 13% of the production, and we are leaving out the 87% to take care of to be consumed by the domestic markets. And we have a very strong exporters network. We have about 6,600 exporters in spices sector, out of which nearly 10% of them are in the manufacturing sector. So we have about 800 plus manufacturing units, and we should promote, we should further expand our exporters base as well as the manufacturers base further if we want to increase our exports further. Next one, please. This is the production scenario in spices. In 2020-21, the production level is expected at 98 lakhs metric tons. We all know that Indian spices are renowned for their rich intrinsic qualities. I have already talked about the agroclimatic conditions prevailing in the country provides for growth of various spices, varieties of spices, and that increases our resource base. India is the leading producer when it comes to chili, turmeric, cumin, coriander, large cardamom, mint, etc. And India accounts for about 30% of the global spices production. Next one, please. When it comes to the export trend with reference to Indian spices, this is the picture we are getting. We are looking at a CAGR of nearly 10% in volume and 13.5% in value. This is the picture which depicts the export increase in the last, say, 10 years or so, from 5.26 lakhs metric tons in 2010-11 to nearly tripling it. We are at 21,515 crores. That is a lot. In the year 2019-20, the spices exports scaled the milestone of $3 billion for the first time. And this year, again in 2020-21 also, we have got a good export record so far. If we talk about the figures for the period from April to November, we have recorded a 25% volume increase over the previous year. So which is a very good indicator. Next slide, please. I would like to highlight here the variety of items that are getting exported from India. We are exporting currently about 220 to 225 spice items to about 180 countries. Major items that are getting exported from India are chili, mint, cumin, spice oils, and oleoresin, turmeric, etc. Major destinations right now are China, USA, Bangladesh, UAE, Thailand, UK, Sri Lanka, Malaysia, Indonesia, Germany, etc. The export trend in 2020-21 I have just talked about. Right now, we are seeing nearly 25% volume increase during the current financial year for the, concerning the period April to November. Next slide, please. India holds lion's share when it comes to export of various spice items. On the left side in the table, we have indicated the dominance of India in respect of export of some of the leading spice items. Turmeric, nearly 80% of the global demand is being met by us. Spice oils and oleoresin, same is the case. Mint products, nearly 70%. Yesterday, in the felicitation session also, I have mentioned about this, the menthol revolution and the role of CIMAP in research institutions in contributing towards the menthol revolution. So right now, we are holding the dominant position, about 70% of global exports. Seed spices, for which NRCSS and other agencies are working for the wholesome development. So seed spices from Western India. Western India is the predominant base for production of seed spices. Seed spices contribute about 65%, chili 55%, cardamom about 20%, etc. And on the right side table, we have indicated about other leading producers of various spice products. And here, the thing to note down is that there are some new producers emerging in the international market, like the countries from, say, Africa, like against turmeric, we have mentioned the producers from Ethiopia, Nigeria, etc. So the international market is very vibrant and very competitive. Next one, please. Yeah, coming to talk about the COVID-19 and its impacts on Indian spices sector. Of course, we have almost come out of it. Just to recount, the COVID-19 situation had impacted the harvesting operations in spices sector partly, and deferred shipments and increased turnout time for exports were reported. Labor shortages affected manufacturing units. And I would like to say that the sector coped up with the impacts successfully and came out of its impacts very quickly also. Of course, the COVID-19 situation has also given certain benefits, or has led to certain new developments which worked for the advantage of Indian spices sector. I would like to say that there has been an increased demand for spices with perceived health benefits or immune boosting properties. And because of this particular reason, we have seen a great jump in export of turmeric, cumin, ginger, and certain other spices. Then we have also experienced the stakeholders adapting to novel methods of or non-conventional modes of shipment. So, for example, when it comes to export to our neighboring country, Bangladesh, most of the exporters from the central Indian region, states like Andhra and Telangana, and even from Tamil Nadu and Western region, they have resorted to movement of spice consignments meant for Bangladesh on export by train. And it worked out to be very cheaper and very effective also. And we have also seen during this COVID period, demands for Indian spices coming from non-traditional markets. Next one, please. So this is the vision and mission for which the spices sector is working. Our vision is to sustain the leadership in global spice trade, global trade of spices and value-added spice products, thereby contributing to the growth of agriculture exports from India. Right now, out of the total agricultural exports, spices exports contribute nearly about 9%, and there is scope to increase it further. And when we talk about the total exports from overall exports from India, spices exports contribute less than 1%, and there is scope to increase it further. Coming to the mission, we would like to become the international processing hub and premier supplier of clean and safe and value-added spices and spice products to the industrial and retail segments of global spices market. Next one, please. I would like to list out some of the recent trends and recent trends noticed by us, and also mixing it up with certain challenges and opportunities. Whenever we talk about challenges, it comes along with that comes opportunities. So number one, there is a shift from reactive to preventive approach to healthcare, and this shift has created lots of demands for spices for their taste, flavor, and immune boosting properties and health benefits. There has been an increase in demand for organic products. These organic products are perceived to be healthier than processed foods. And there has been an increased demand for nutraceutical products. And there has been an increased demand for new flavors. And the world has seen re-emergence of ethnic cuisines as highlights of national cuisines. Preference for infusing ethnic flavors in conventional meat products for better aesthetics and quality. So these things are also contributing to driving up the demand for spices. And there has been an increased demand for ready-to-use spice products. There has been an increased focus across the globe on food safety and quality standards, which has propelled the spices industry across the world on rigorous implementation of HACCP and food safety management systems with additional checkpoints for microbial contamination. And an increased emphasis is being laid on sustainability concerns when it comes to production and also on demonstration of traceability. Next one, please. Continuing on, enhanced adoption of automation in operations in spices industries across the world. This has been a trend. Enhanced use of IT applications. I would like to say that the face of former industry interaction has changed with a lot of use of mobile applications to facilitate these interactions. And adherence to COVID-19 guidance documents by the producing units as well as the manufacturing units. Then increased use of rapid testing tools is another development during this recent times. Then there are indications that cosmeceutical sector also holds good promise. And I have already mentioned that there has been increased demand for Indian spices from non-traditional markets as well. Next one, please. Coming to India's specific situation, I would like to mention few issues that we would like to place our attention on. I think most of the lead speakers will agree with me on this listing. Number one is increasing the productivity, ensuring best planting materials of desired varieties, promoting sustainable production, which also covers resilient production methods in the face of climate change, pests and diseases, and also promoting water efficient production systems. Of course, we have not researched much on this, but I think in the very near future, this is going to hold center stage in our planning process. Then efficient post-harvest processing equipments, mapping of export-oriented production sources, promoting aggregation and support to farmers, strengthening farmer industry tie-up, ensuring quality in manufacturing and production stages, promoting traceability, automation and modern technology in value chain. So these are the issues on which we would like to focus on. And there has been, every importing country of late has been imposing stringent food safety and quality standards. And I would like to see this not as a roadblock, but as an opportunity for the entire spices sector. This gives us an opportunity to upgrade ourselves in terms of our production and manufacturing systems to meet the global demand. So this has to be done if we want to continue with our leading position. And there is still better scope. Though we are the leaders in export of value-added products, there is still scope for increasing the percentage contribution from this section. And there is a need to harmonize the standards for various residues and contaminants across countries, because industry is using this as a hurdle in many of the export markets. And towards this, broadening the Codex standard base will be of great help. The Spices Board is working. India holds the. India is the host of CCSCH Codex Committee on Spices and Culinary Herbs. Spices Board is the secretariat, and next in the month of April we are going to hold the next session of Codex Committee, and we are working we are striving hard to broaden the Codex standard base for various spices. Next one, please. So these are some of the thrust areas: focus on food safety and quality, and good hygiene practices. In all these things, the board would like to support Indian farmers and manufacturers. We would like to focus on promotion of GI spices and organic spices. There has been increased demand for organic spices. We have, during this year in 2020-21, we have conducted nearly 15 buyer-seller meets. In most of these buyer-seller meets, various stakeholders have conveyed that there has been growing demand for organic spices. And next one is promotion of high-end value addition and highlighting the health benefits of spices in global markets. And identification of focus products, focus markets, and new markets. This exercise has been carried out by the board and in consultation with the industry and exporters. Another important strategy we would like to work on is enhancing the exporters base from 6,600, the present one, the present number of exporters. We would like to triple it in the next 10 years and enhancing the base of manufacturers from the present 680. Would like to promote the Indian brands abroad, and we are working with Indian Brand Equity Forum for this. The board has launched various collaborative projects with stakeholders, because we can, from the segmented mandate, we can also very clearly understand that for the betterment of the spices sector, each and every stakeholder has to join hands to work together. So realizing that, we have joined hands with various stakeholders to launch collaborative projects to address specific needs of the sector. We are focusing on spice clusters and their development under two programs. One is agriculture export policy. Under agriculture export policy, various state governments, they have identified spices exports, and in addition to that, we are concentrating on spices clusters and identified under Ministry of Food Processing Industry scheme, one district, one product program. Till now, about 54 spice districts, 54 spices have been identified to be promoted in 54 districts out of the 300 plus spice clusters notified so far. Next one, please. Yeah, so we would like to touch upon some of the new initiatives planned. The board is working to launch a Spice House certification program on a voluntary participation basis to convey to the consumers of the world the quality and food safety accomplishments of manufacturing exporters from India. And we would like to support the stakeholders in acquiring quality certifications. Then this second point is about Codex. I have just talked about it. I would like to mention that the Codex committee is the youngest committee of, the CCSCH committee is the youngest committee of Codex, and in its short span of time, it has given wonderful results. It has created 4 successful standards for pepper, cumin, thyme, and garlic. 7 electronic working groups are doing their work right now. We have 5 standards at step 5 of Codex process. You all know that Codex process covers 8 steps. 5 standards are at step 5, covering the spices saffron, clove, basil, ginger, and oregano. And 2 standards are at step 2, chili and nutmeg. And I talked about the collaborative projects in which the board is associated with. One is STDF project, Standards and Trade Development Facility of WTO and FAO. This project is funded by them. The aim is to strengthen the spice value chain in India and improving the market access through capacity building and innovative interventions. This work is ongoing in 4 states. And another project is National Sustainable Spice Program in collaboration with industry and WSO to address SPS sustainability issues in select spices. And this project is expanded to Northeastern region as well. We are also working on promoting in-GAP certification in spices sector. We all know that global GAP standards do not cover spices, so we are trying to create in-GAP standards covering spices as well. For that, we have roped in the services of Quality Council of India. Pilot project has been rolled out, covering 5 spices in 4 or 5 states. Next one, please. Yeah, the board is also developing a blockchain-based traceability interface for Indian spices in association with the UNDP. We are right now, the project has just kick-started. We are working on it. The board has also proposed the first weather-based crop insurance scheme for small cardamom, which is under the scrutiny of Ministry of Commerce right now. And the board is in consultation with GEF and GIZ to join 2 different initiatives to address the SPS and biodiversity issues in various states of India when it comes to spices production. The board will shortly launch a pilot project for the online sale of large cardamom in the Northeastern region. And the works are going on in this regard. And very soon we will be coming out with user guidelines for broadening the user base of GI spices as well. Then we are trying to activate the eSpice Bazaar portal with additional features covering more spices and region and facilitating trade of spices onto the platform. And we are also in the process of developing a dedicated virtual platform to organize trade fairs. So next one, please. Yeah. So I think I have taken enough time and I have covered most of the aspects